say what you think everyone else would want, but then also individual, based on different groups within the community, you know, women, those in power, some of the younger groups. And then, so I'm on the technical team, so we're doing like the design. And we have a cultural team that's compiling all those interviews and stuff like that. And they're still working. We're trying to make a cohesive piece of like work.
Well, and that's really challenging too, because I don't know how those being interviewed are identifying or being identified, but there's probably still a risk of not getting everyone's voice. So how do you engage those individuals that aren't represented in the interviews? And that's where, you know, some observation can be effective, but I know you're also traveling, so you have a limited amount of time. So then some people would question, like, can you come up with something that's going to be effective? It's a challenge, right? It is a really big challenge. And I think that's something we also have to acknowledge as we move forward in our professional careers. You know, are the time constraints of this design project realistic? And can we actually accomplish what we need to do? And that's sort of that engineering ethics side that you have to dig into eventually as you move on to your careers. Other issues or challenges? Yeah.
So obviously, like, my community partner is in Ireland, so it's just like difficult, like time change and everything. And I think what's been a unique challenge that I wasn't really expecting was like, because their culture like is pretty similar to the U.S. Like, I just kind of assume that they're going to be like, they have the same, I don't know, like some things are the same.
Sure.
And then like they're completely different. And so that's just kind of been like, oh, like a learning curve. Like, okay, you can't just assume that they're gonna have the same worldview as you just because they like sound and
look like you, and
know, so.
right, yeah, and that's really good point. Something to think about. Yeah. Other issues or challenges or does he run up against? Okay. I would say, you know, you guys have really hit on all of these things already. These are just kind of the tips. I mean, this is a challenging space that you're working in, right? So you've got to be respectful, which and I get the sense that all of you are very respectful. You're here at this session, which says a lot about your interests and your willingness to want to be in a space that's effective. Acknowledging your power differentials. So that's a challenging one, right? But anytime you walk out Purdue University's halls, you are powerful. You're going to walk into a community and they see Purdue, and they don't just see you, the student, they see Purdue as the university. And so that gives you this sense of skewed power that you may not want. In fact, usually I don't want it. I tend to not introduce myself as someone from Purdue if I can help it. But it is something to really acknowledge. You might not be getting the honest answers you want because you're coming as this powerful Purdue, right? They may just say, yes, that sounds good, yes. I mean, I've had that happen a lot, right? They want to please you. They don't want you to go away. So be mindful of the power that you bring when you're going out in these spaces. Try to make sure everyone has a voice, and that's really hard, you know, especially your Bolivia example. Like, you guys are interviewing, you're doing what, you know, as scientists we do to try and engage voices, but it's difficult, but that's really critical. And then you guys hit on that meaningful relationships and listening space. That I can't emphasize enough. The number one reason projects are successful is because you have a relationship with the individuals in which you're working. I mean, it will make it successful. And you can be honest with each other. They can tell you what's not working, and you can tell them what's not working, and you can go back and forth. Any questions about those things? All right. There's more of these classes that are coming up. We're going to talk not next week, but the week after, about failures, so things that have gone wrong with these projects, and how to address them. So this is a session where you're not only going to learn about them, we're going to try to figure out ways to address them. The last session that I'll be doing is about being a reflective practitioner, so how do you integrate reflection into your practice? And then the last session of this series is on our Purdue Journal for Service Learning and International Engagement. So can you take your project and write a reflection to put into a journal that could then be published, and you would get something to put on your resume and recognition for your project. So, other parting thoughts or questions about all of this? You guys are so quiet. Okay, well, go forth and conquer. I think I have my email here. Conquers, that's not what I want to say at all. Go forth and collaborate. There we go. So there is a journal for service learning that you guys can write. So take your reflections, for example. So you guys write reflections. You can turn them into a scholarly article and get published in the journal.
Really?
Yes.
So it's like an academic peer-reviewed journal?
Yes, it is. And there's the last session on the 28th. The editor is going to come in and talk about the journal. So make sure you go to that one. Yeah. All right. And if you have any questions or thoughts, please email me. I'm available anytime. I can help answer questions with your projects like that. Okay? All right. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. You're done early. Yay.
Oh, yes, I'm done.
You can keep those. You can keep them. They're all yours.